Um, Hello there. So, I'm still looking into in regards of all these note things, and in regards of cycles per second, in regards of vibrations and all that. Now, of course, in regards of vibrations, is pretty much not something new for me, but of course, all this note thing is pretty new. That's for sure. Um, Waves, vibration, motion. Yeah. Any case, so I've found this program, bandwidth chromatic or something like that, but apparently it, you know, according, I think it's like a scale, like a scale is 8 notes or something like that. Yeah, I'm still learning all the. So you know, I think I lost the, Anyway, yeah, scales. Trying to see in regards to the flute, and maybe I should actually close down the video here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm looking into in regards of like the flute and whistling. I've never done like whistling on a high scale like the professionals. That's for sure. I'm looking into that in regards of people whistling more. What shall we say more? But I've always loved whistling. And if you are in the shower, that's that's always ready for something there. In regards to whistling. So I tried this program, for example, and you need to have it. I think it's called sharp, and this is called flat. And flat, if you are on the keyboard, goes this way, and in regards of the black things on the keyboard. And if it's a sharp, it's this direction apparently. Yeah, I still have, there's a lot of things that I still don't understand in regards of the rules and all that have been set up. But anyway, it has the flute, at least this program. A lot of the programs I tried didn't really have a flute. They mostly have a guitar. So the idea, of course, it doesn't work at the moment because it's recording. Even if it actually has 3 microphones, you can't expect it actually to work, right? That's just nothing. It's typical. But anyway, and that of course was ironic in some sense. You have 3 microphones and you can't use the one to record and the other to actually still be usable. No, apparently not. Whatever. Maybe I'm just an old growny man. Anyway, so start playing. Notes will appear on the staff as you play. And it actually works pretty good with my flute. In regards of using my flute compared to the whistling, there seems to, the whistling seems to be more. It seems to be harder for the programs to actually get. You have more of a analog thing in regards of when you're fluting. You can see that the vibrations is you have much more control, it seems, when you actually are, because when you are only fluting on an instrument, you pretty much only have, of course you can blow a little harder and so forward and this and that, but in the end it seems like you're stuck in some sense to these specific notes. Oh, okay. But anyway, so it seems like again that you have the whole thing in, but anyway, there's something, one can train, it seems. In some of the programs, in regards to fluting, it seems like there's a possibility of training somewhat. But in regards to this scale, I do wonder because I don't really understand what is going on here because the standard teachings of this flute does not put the note. It's like a scale up. When I'm using the flute, it's like a scale up from what is actually in the books and the notes that I'm usually using for the flute. But it does say it's the true, it's just up one scale, but it pretty much hits the right notes. But again, it's a scale up on the note, so that doesn't really make it easier for me. Of course, I guess one could get some more practice in regards to the of these things that are outside the stand, because it usually goes up here, and because it's a scale that I think it goes, upward, So I think it's called upward anyway. So, but I guess that's pretty, if I don't know in regards to the pro version here, you can buy it, and I don't know if one can actually, but it seems like this is more like a sound thing. If one could force the program to go a scale down or something like that, that would be nice. But of course, the guy that sells this program, or the whatever sells this program, haven't allowed to try out all the features. So again, I guess I could try the thing of buying the application and try it out in the 2 hour window. But of course, last time Google told me that, and I think it's something, if you actually have the application on your phone and you buy it, it seems like you forfeit this right of yours. Google then tells you, pretty much give you the finger and says you can't really get any refund, because you have, as was they use this word, that you have pretty much, forfeited that. And that's like, I don't remember them actually saying that beforehand, but of course, it's probably written in a lot of those pages that if anyone would actually read these pages, you would never ever, get going with the programs, because, and they're changing them all the times, right? Then you get from Google, then you get from YouTube, then you get from Facebook, you get, we updated the rules and this and that, and then you're like, who's going to read all those things, because if you're going to read all those things, well, you don't pretty much have much, the devil is really good at, just, wasting our time and taking our rights and all that. So that's very sad. But anyway, so that's Bandmate. And again, it's a scale in regards to the notes. It shows the notes. It's actually pretty nice, So when you play on the flute, it shows the note, but again, it shows the note a scale too high. I know on the other application I have over here called Cornelius, it's a free version here at the moment. I am thinking of buying it. And a lot of the applications is made with Unity as well. I'm probably not going to set, I have a lot of other things, to look into. But I do have gotten some great ideas for biblical game that is non-violent, and that where you learn an instrument at the same time. I'm getting a huge amount of ideas for these things. And in regards to fixing them with the flood and the 7 colors of the rainbow, in regards to the notes, you have 7 notes. So why not use the colors of the rainbow and then use in regards to the flood theme, for example? Yeah, it's just wonderful. We just need to, so the ideas are springing into my head, like a lot of other things and all that. And where I'm thinking, these are pretty good idea, but I don't have the ability to actually make it happen. Or, some great, funny, what shall we say, cartoons or something like that. And you're thinking, that would actually be pretty good. But, I can't draw and so forward. So that's pretty much impossible. But anyway, looking at some of the drawings from the Reformation and all that also give you some idea of how you can actually get the message out, the truth and all that. And the Reformers, the Protestants use that. Anyway, could actually be nice to try to collect all the images and, put them on a website so people could, just go through them or something like that. So, like against the Antichrist and all that, and showing what they actually, I don't know. Anyway. Again, I don't really like images and all that, and we should, of course, not depict God and all that. So I do have a little, but I'm not too happy about, but again, well, anyway, I am a iconoclast, And all these idols that and images, pagan gods we have in this country, I think we should just destroy it all. And we have some crucifixes and whatever, big ones and small ones, in the museum in Copenhagen. And I think they should pretty much burn it all. I think it would be a great. Anyway, I think it would be a great show. A great thing to show the rest of the Christian world that idolatry with crucifixes and icons and Mary statues and all that is pretty much a no-go. So I don't care about how old these things are. I'm thinking more of saving the souls of people, not whoring with Satan and all that. And if the Mohammedans can see that the Christians in Denmark are burning these things, all that, it would be a wonderful thing. And the Roman Catholics can see what these, Danes are doing, and the Orthodox can see it. Maybe it will actually get a really clear message over to the people. And of course, we could then also read something in regards of the booklet that Andreas Karlstadt made in 1532 or something like that, in regards of iconoclasm before. I can't remember. I think it was, at least it's close, where Luther comes back and pretty much, I think does a lot of, turning back, sadly, to. But anyway, it's another subject. Anyway, we're keeping to the notes, right? So here, for example, this is, they have some colors on the note and all that, and I'm going to figure out which one of the colors I want first and all that. Of course, the lowest vibration should probably be first. I need to figure it out so it fixes up to the notes, and I already know what the 7 colors in regards to the rainbow and all that, because I used that in the past. So I should pretty much be able to find that fits to that. So you would have one color for one note in regards to the 7 notes. That would help. Another thing would be in regards, I don't know, in regards of these letters. I was thinking maybe you could just use numbers, but it's something I do understand that we also have numbers of the scale, so it might be better with letters. But anyway, numbers just seems more, to me, I have a hard time to try to figure out if I'm needing to go one way or the other way, and I'm never really that's just, oops, Daisy, we got a little high. But I was thinking an octave, I called it. Anyway, an octave up, then it puts an 8 up here, and you can say okay. And then it puts, everything an octave up or down. Or this is higher apparently. And then you can go lower. And then it like this, putting all the notes upward on the scale. I think it's called the scale. And that's a bit of a problem. You have, oh, come on, I'm sitting the same place. Give me a break with that poor connection. Okay, maybe if I turn it around here. Yeah. I don't know why this happens, because there should be pretty good, I'm sitting in the same place, and why should it, come about? Apparently I'm walking around here and still having problems. I don't know why it's, it's, you would think that it would be pretty much the same most of the time, right? That it actually would work all the time. I can sit like an hour and speak without any problems, and then out of nowhere, in another recording, sitting at the same exact place, it will have issues. Okay, so it seems I don't have any problems here. Of course, you never know what, there's so much corruption and things that they're trying. Some of it is, even if it doesn't look like it's on purpose, I think it is on purpose that, for example, you can see, for example, Google that, I just want to re-listen to. And but then Google forced this company, so it was Google's fault. It was not the company. And I was actually, but I had tried it before with another application where I was actually, in some sense, a little mad on the application because. But I found out it was not the application. It was actually, these big companies like Facebook and Google again making issues, and of course. Play Store is also Google and all that. So you see all these insanities. So it's not a surprise that, and also in regards to the browser and all that, that they are trying to force you over on their browser and then making issues on other browsers and trying to take your. Yeah, they're trying to make, and of course we know Satan is just, this is a satanic world, and Satan is. If it actually still plays it, no, it probably doesn't. But let's see. Yeah, it seemed to actually. Yeah, okay, yeah. So even. Okay. It still says it's poor. Hopefully it's. Okay. If it says the connection is poor, that's a problem because I'm on 4G now. So again, it has a huge amount of there's no way it has a pure connection now. There's no way it should complain about it. So again, I think it's more like and see, it's only using 115 kilobyte per second up in the right corner. Now, of course, if I didn't have the program to actually check what it actually is using, I would not be able to see that this is not a connection problem. So, but again, one of these Google, I could probably have like a program where I could test things, test connection, something like that, connection. And see how high we actually can go up in upload now. So let's see, speed test. Let's just take this one. Let's try that out. And let's just see how much upload it actually can do. Because it's on 4G, it's, you can already see the download is pretty high compared to, and the upload is also pretty huge. So telling me that the connection is not really good is just stupid. Well, it's not true. I guess that's the right word. But then you're listening to these insiders of these applications, and oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, as typical, the programs have a lot of spyware because that's the thing in regards of. You wouldn't, EU General Data Protection Regulation, right? We need, and of course, if I say deny, I can't. Oh, I could use the program here, but anyway, that's the thing, reading. Anyway, let's try to see what it says in regards of upload. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, allow whatever. So we have download, testing, download. You can see it's like, well, if you can't see it, but it's up in the right corner. It's pretty high, Then we have the upload. Oh, 5,000, And you're telling me the connection is bad? It's like, that's insane. The video is using like 100 kilobyte or something like that. Maybe 200 kilobyte and all that. And you have 5,000 and you're complaining and telling me there's a bad connection. Now, of course, when I'm on 3G, that's another thing. But don't tell me I have a bad connection. That's plain lying. It's because it's not a bad connection. Let's try to go back to the 3G. I keep still pretty low at the moment. That's 80. Yeah, great. So again, if you're actually buying a program and want to try it out, and in regards to the 2-hour window, don't buy it directly from the app. Go on, and don't have it installed, so go into Play Store and buy it. I think that's what's the problem. Now it's still only uploading like 30 kilobyte now. 79 kilobyte, but it should be live, you know. It's just in stupidity. It's just annoying that things that should work, you know, that you end up having problems and complaining about something that, you know, this pretty much should not complain about. Anyway, so now it's running on 3G without problems apparently, and we can go and look at how much it actually have of upload. So let's test that. I think it's like 400 in upload or something like that when it's on 3G, but that should be more than enough, you know. We have 3,600 in download. That's still a lot less than the 4G, but it's, oh, well, less than the 4G anyway, but it's not, you know, it's not bad. And here we have the upload around, you know, it's not really, you know, it should have more than enough. Let's retest that and see again on the numbers here. I have 2,000, 3,000, 3,500, you know, in download and all that. I can't remember how much it was on 4G, but if I remember correctly, 4G is a lot more. 590, 389, 461, 300, you know, it's a lot more than what the program needs. So how can it tell me that and of course now it has stopped telling me that the upload is bad, but you know, it's just insane, it's just stupid. And now it's only using 31 kilobyte according to the application. Anyway, and when it complains on 4G, that's just outrageous, because then I know that there's huge amount of bandwidth. But again, I don't like using 4G because you get a lot of radiation on 4G. It's just incredible, the difference between 3G and 4G. So that's the reason why I use 3G. And that's more than enough. Absolutely more than enough for running things. I wanted actually, if it actually had less radiation, I would probably, you know, I would mostly run 2G, but actually 2G I was surprised, actually give more radiation than 3G. So anyway, back to the topic, because that was, of course, now it got me on the wrong track here. But of course, in regards to the Flute Master, in regards, you can change the colors as well, and I'm going to, you know, when I find out how to, you know, which one is actually number one, I'll take the lowest vibration color and all that. You know, colors are different vibrations and all that. So red is, if you take red, is the lowest vibration, and then you go to violet, which is the highest vibrations in regards of the visible spectrum for our eyes. Now, some animals can look into the ultraviolet, and others can look into the infrared, which we can't without instruments. But anyway, so I think in regards of the ultraviolets, there's at least an insect. There's probably more, but you know, that's the one that I remember. In regards of an insect, there was something in regards of fires that it uses to find fires and all. But anyway, the other one was a mouse in regards of the infrared. No, sorry, a snake that used the infrared to find mouse. That's at least, anyway, I'm sure there's a lot more animals with awesome so-called technology built into them that we don't have. You know, if you look at some of the, you know, I've read articles where they talk about, you know, trying to make the so-called superhuman into in regards to all these. Yeah, but anyway, whatever. And you know, where they show you that this is what we can observe and this and that at the moment, and then we have the animals where they have these extra things and all that, and how they would, you know, how they could in the future do, so we can get these, you know, and whatever. So let's get back to the thing. So bandmate, crow-mate thing apparently has some, you know, as I said, problems in regards of lifting the notes too high, and that's sad. And had a these are the applications that I pretty much have left after testing. I still have applications in my app trash in regards of different things. It's laying there 24 hours before it's deleted. Do seem to have actually deleted some of the, emptying my trash. But anyway, you can just do like this, select all. But, after 24 hours, it will delete them automatically. And actually, I have, when you have deleted something and actually you think, oh, I just needed to look at something, and then it actually in some sense rescues you. So I actually have used that, trash a couple of times. So it's not stupid that they actually do it. But anyway, then we have waves, and that's actually pretty... Yeah, unable to init the... This is actually pretty nice. It has a pretty nice interface and all that. The orange here, they have like a black... that's also very nice. Actually, all the three themes that they have for this application is actually pretty nice. Now, one thing I don't like is that it doesn't it doesn't cut off those notes that you don't need. Which, if I could say, well, I need these notes from here to there, would have been nice. So C5. Oh, I can't use the microphone. But you can see how many vibrations in a second there is. It's either C5 or C4 that is in regards of the 440. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, let's see. C. Maybe it's the C5. I think it's actually the D5 that is the first note that I have on the flute. But again, it's when I don't have that vibration and all that, but you have the 440. I think it's C4 that was 440. But then again, how did that work out with... I'm still trying to learn these notes. And also a problem is that, I've had programs that have actually, lessened the vibrations by half. So you have some programs saying that the note you're playing is, 1,000 whatever. And then you have another program saying it's 500 or whatever, So it's like, which one is it? Okay, it says A4 is equal 440 cycles per second. If I have written that correct. That's okay. Oh, A4, yeah, it's not C. I don't know why I'm messing it up in regards of C all the time. It's the A4, and that would fit because then you have the A4 here, and then the first note on the flute is D5. And I guess that's the octaves on a piano, where you have the different octaves and all that. But this program is actually, the author has actually made, so you have 7 days to try it out. I think it was 7 days. Anyway, I have 4 days left or something like that. But I'm getting more, there's a lot of features that I still have issues with. This is a theme carrot, and you have these other hollow blue and high contrast, and all of the three is pretty nice. So I'm pretty satisfied with his, with that's for sure. Three really nice ones that just hits the mark. Then you have, it's optimized for guitar or guitar, whatever you want to, but there's no flute. But it seems the guitar seems to work in regards of my flute. That in regards of playing notes within the C5 to C6. I think my flute actually go beyond that. The microphone seems to also be... there are some notes in the higher and lower scale that the mobile speaker have issues with, it seems. But actually, in one of the other programs that actually also had higher seems to actually be better at it than this one. In any case, it's just so high and so low, so it's outside what I would need in any case. Far. And there were display markers, 13.7 cents from Target. Again, I'm not totally sure what that is. How, but I, I think I don't need it on. I think I had to have it off. I don't know. Anyway, then there's temperament and so forward. Different things and all that. That's the wave program. And again, you have 7 days of testing. That's very nice of the person. I had another one where it's like you had 5 or 10 seconds to see what it could do, and then they closed off the feature and said, "Hey, you need to buy it." And of course, then you have the applications with a lot of spyware in it, and of course, there's also advertising in many of these applications. Now, at the moment, I do have it locked out in regards of advertising, so I get nearly 0 advertising now. But I can't remember if Waves actually was without advertising in regards to the 7 days trial. I think it was, but I'm not entirely sure. I could of course try to put it off here. This is a wonderful program, by the way, and it's free. It's open source, as I understand, and all that. It just works wonderful. If you don't have it on, you will get so many ads. Okay, yeah. Attention, trial period, 4 day remaining. He's really, doesn't seem to be any ads as far as I can see. So this guy that made this program is, this is the way to do it, I think. You make an application, you let people try it out for, a couple of days. And then they can choose if they want to pay for it. Is it usable for them? Was it working as it should? That's the way. Without advertising, without crap, without, I think that's a good way to do it. I see Tuner Main, again, some of these applications do have advertising. And again, let's see, this seems to be without advertising. And there you have the play pitch as well. Of course, the microphone. There we go. And again, is that a healthy advertising? Advertising about eating, crap fast food. That's good fast food out there, but that's not the good fast food. That's for sure. Good fast food, ribeyes on the pan, 2 minutes on both sides. Just let it rest for a minute or so, and there you go. That's fast food. And of course, some butter is also pretty good. And remember to salt it just in the beginning and all that, Anyway, so and many of these advertising is just something that is not good for you. Why would you be would you want to be affected by these advertising? And I think it's it's just something that it has it's worldly normal to advertise. Well, I do not think it's good I think advertising is of the devil, because mostly the ads are filled with promoting satanic games, satanic movies, satanic this or satanic that, and unhealthy alcohol, but it just goes on and on and on, and in regards of sensuality, sexuality and all that, and getting it's evil. It's just evil. It's just pure evil. Why would I ever want to look at that? And of course they do the advertising because they know they work. You get it imprinted in you, and anyway. So here we have another one, and there you actually can see a piano. I was at a piano and trying a little out in regards to the song, the little children's song of Martin Luther and all that, which I also could, I trained it on my flute as well, but then I went to the piano and all that, and, still more practice and all that, but actually I got through the song, so I would need I would need the notes again, and just a little, but anyway, so here we have the piano with the different scales and all that. Like 5 is one scale, and then you have 6 is another scale. And again, I still don't understand how this works out, because it's like A, B, C. Why is the scale according to this, it seems, why is the scale starting in regards of number C and not at the B? It doesn't make sense to me, you know. I just, you know, then you have like 7 or 8 things, and then you have the first A and B, and they are like, you know, they are like the last notes, you know, those that are highest, and then you go to the C, and then it's the lowest. You know, it's like, what is going on with that? That's just unsensible. I'm still trying to, you know, maybe someone can tell me why that should be sensible in any way. Or why it is as it is, you know, because it just seems stupid to me, you know. And of course, if A, which should be the first, then it should be the lowest of the rainbow colors, and then, you know, you go up the vibration ladder, of course. But in regards, it should, you know, the rainbow, the 7 colors of the rainbow should be pretty much one scale in some sense, you know. And of course, it's 8 that is a full scale, as I understand it. You go from C to C, or B to B, or A to A, or something like that. But in any case, you would, you know, you have the 2 same colors. And it works. It works. It would work with the 7 rainbow colors, but I would like it to pretty much be fixed in regards of, you know, lowest number, or A, you know, to be the first, you know, whatever. Anyway, I'll have to look into that crazy daisy thing. But then you actually have like A4, and actually, you know, when you're practicing, there will come like a thing here, and you can actually have the tone running as well, which is pretty nice. Now, of course, it's not recording, so you can't see what tone it is. Oh, it should be 440, you know. A4, 440, it writes it up here, so that's great. So, and then I have D5, which again is the first note I have on the flute, on the tin flute. And, yep, you know, that's you know, it would be pretty nice if I could just choose to take a lot of the piano away here and just choose what of the piano I wanted. But I think I've seen one program that you can actually do that, and there might be more out there. But anyway, any case, so you have these options, and you also have another option of double clicking on it very quickly, and it becomes gray, and then it stays up here at that note. Again, it took a little long, you know, a little time to figure things out and all that, but when it's just like in the white mode here, it will just, you know, fly around, and if you're whistling, then it will go, you know, just whistling with your mouth, it will just, you know, fly around. So if you just want to try to hit one note, you pretty much need to do this like this, and then it pretty much sets, you know, just goes, you know, in regards of where you are you hitting the note and so forward. And it's chromatic mode, and as you can see, there doesn't seem to be any advertising, so it might actually be free. Here we have in regards to the sharps and the flats, just okay. Sound on tone match play. It's actually funny because when you hit very close to the, or maybe it's just a slight outside of it or something like that. But when you're really close to the note, it's like it's, you know, I've heard about that before and all that in regards of that when you have the same tones and vibrations, they will, and you can feel like on the flute, and when I'm whistling, when I hit the tone or very near the tone, you can feel it, that something is happening with the tone. I'm not sure what you know, but what to call it, but you can really feel and you can hear it, that there's something happening with, you know, and then you blow, for example, you blow with a whistle or blow with your mouth and stop the tone from the mobile, and then it becomes normal, and then you know, so you have the same tone, but when you have 2 tones and hitting near the real, you know, the real tone, there's something that happens, and that's, you know, it's kind of, that's interesting, very interesting. if I remember correctly, many years when I was, in the occult and researching vibrations and so on, and, again, looking for the truth and all that as always, and asking questions and thinking and so forward. Yeah, I remember reading about that. That was, when you have, I think that was something in regards of when you have a piano and it's an A and another A, even if it's upper scale, that there's something that they will still, I can't remember, but that was something in regards of you had an instrument and there was this vibration, and you had an instrument that hasn't been played on, and well, the vibration, the note or the string or whatever on in regards of that note would also begin to vibrate, as I understand, even if you're not playing it. I can't remember what it's called, but that's very interesting, very interesting. But that seems to be maybe the thing that is happening when I'm hitting the note, and it both happened on the flute and when I was whistling. So that was very interesting, and it didn't happen on any other. It's just like I was very curious, very interesting. Anyway, I never tried that. I never tried and experienced that, and that was a very interesting experience. So that was. So TuneMate seems to be free without advertising, at least. Sometimes they are very clever, so there's no advertising in the beginning. And I remember a free game where you were like a flying thing where there's planes on the screen and you need to land these planes. And it was pretty fun game and all that. That was a little, non-violent and all that. There are also violent versions, but in any case, this was a non-violent version. And that's, usually they are actually non-violent. I remember playing one game on Commodore 64, again, where you are the flying in, what is it called, tell different planes, go to this altitude, and and you need to land and this and that and whatever. It was, I guess, a little more professional on the Commodore 64, but but anyway, you instruct where they're needing to go and so forward. I don't think you actually instruct them in the heights in these programs. You actually instructed these planes on the Commodore version in regards to the height, so you could have more planes close to each other, but still in different heights, so they wouldn't. So on that level, there was another dimension for it, actually. Yeah, it was any case. So the ads, there was not that many ads in the beginning for the game, but as you progressed, having the free version, there would come more and more and more advertising, and it just became more and more intrusive, while you're playing and all that. That's just, and it gets to a point where it's just, you just delete the game. I guess it's where the point that either you pay for the game or you throw it out, yeah. But I think it would have been more better with like a 3 days free period to try the game out or something like that. Or a couple of hours, where it says you have like 3 hours to try out the games without ads or anything like that, and then you can get an idea if you like it or not. And instead of all this ads, ads. Okay, we tried that program. So we have the last program, I think. Note recognizer. Now, I think I'm going to delete this, but one of the reasons I have this still is because it has a recording feature. And apparently I can't get into the recording feature at the moment, probably again because it has issues finding the microphone. The problem with the recording mode that it actually seems to stop pretty quickly, and I'm not sure how good it actually is to. But it was interesting. I don't know in regards of the other application. So we have a little problem here. I don't know in regards of Cornelius actually having that feature, but I do. I talked to the guy, and they had a lot of other things planned for that application. So maybe in the future that that would be something they would do. I have to give it to them. Even if it's not the themes of biblical things and all that, but you can learn a lot from. They're making pretty good. They're making where you play an instrument and have fun and so you're learning and pretty good graphic and all that. The only thing, I would change some of the things in regards to the theme and all that, but absolutely in the right direction. The same thing with music crap. Again, I would change some things like the music. I would pick some Christian music, and we have a huge amount of Christian music that would be great, or melodies that would be great as beginner melodies. Actually we have, I would guess, hundreds of these from the 16th century. At least we have a good amount. In the Danish book we have 100 and something in just the Danish book, and that's from the middle of the 16th century or something like that. In any case, 1550 or whatever. We have German as well, and so anyway, probably some of the same songs as well. But again, we have a huge amount of songs, and in regards of music crap, that's like 24. I think it's too little for a game. Now, of course, it was cheap. It was very cheap, but that actually ruined it as well in regards of buying it, because the idea of pushing you forward, giving you some shells as, in some sense, payment to get more, or not payment, but getting a prize when you can get up to 3 shells if you complete a perfect in regards of a song. But that just, when you need to pay for it, that even if you make all the songs beforehand perfect, you can't move on because you need to pay for the game. I think it just ruins it. And only 24 songs is just too little, After you played the 24 songs, I'm still like, there's still room for a lot more practice. And so again, fixing some Christian things and Christian songs, melodies, and all that. Again, so you learn on so many. Instead of just learning on one level, that you can learn on multiple levels. That's and the possibility is absolutely there. It's just right there for some awesome Christian games. Just non-violent, filled with scripture, music of the Reformation. So you also get history. So you get biblical truth. You get history teaching. You get instrument teach. It's just So that's on many levels that you can learn and feel like you're playing a game. Having fun at the same time. And that's, I think, is one of the most important things, because if you can get the person to enjoy the learning experience, and not feel like, just gets it, then it's fun, it's more fluently, and you want to learn more, but, because it's fun, it's fun to do. It's like a game, but again, you're still learning, and you progress because you want to make it, for example, a better score. Like in Flute Master, you will play the songs again. Now, again, they have songs that are not biblical, but the idea is there. The idea is that it's just to fix it with, The same, I guess, with the rhythmic thing in regards of learning. You could make the greatest non-violent game, anyway, and learning game, and just awesome. So that was the last one. We pretty much got through all those 5 programs. There's probably more programs out there, but I downloaded a little here and a little there, and tried different things. Some of them I didn't really. still going through these, which one I actually need and don't need, and which one I can. In regards to the tuner, and again, maybe one can practice scales in regards of fluting, but again, there's more room for the analog thing in regards of when you're doing, when you're just fluting or doing the whistle thing with your mouth, And usually I just learn songs when I whistle by listening to them and just, the whistling. You don't even think about it or think about the notes or anything like that in some sense. But I do see that, using the tin whistle, that when you're learning the notes for something on the tin whistle, it seems you actually will be better to hit all the notes in some sense. There's some things that you might not have or had gotten by listening that will actually help you to get it more right in that way. But in another way, it's also it's like because beforehand I guess you also get to a point where you think about the notes, and beforehand you just didn't think about it, you just did it, And I don't know if that's actually dangerous but anyway, whatever. We'll see. So, I should probably get some water. As well take a break from it all. Oh well, just relax maybe. But anyway, this Space Note, that's a violent game, but it's still in regards of learning the notes, and I still have a long way of that. But anyway, if I'm going to play any game, then play it in regards of learning something. Vivice, I think, was something in regards of a piano as well. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, that was also in regards of learning the staff, music staff or whatever, what the different notes is. And again, here we have the piano. So we have the, what's it called? This is the flat, and that's the sharp, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's that. So if it's the flat, I think you go that way, and if it's the sharp, you go that way. Yeah, whatever. On the piano. Now, of course, on the flute, I have like an F sharp, and I have a C sharp, and that's pretty much the things I have. But then I have a C natural and a C sharp. Not sure what the C natural is, if it's just the standard C when I'm whistling. And there you can see, I think it's advertising, it looks like, maybe. Dark. Oh, what was that? Oh, it started. Oh. Well, if that's A, and that's C, that's C, and that's F, and that's A. Oh, no, that was wrong. If A, C, F, A, E, of course. Only 90%. Okay. But I guess, it's nice to, get some practice and all that. And again, different programs to try. Yeah, here we go with the ads again, very annoying with the ads. And then it even loads an ad, I don't want to see that. So that's just, but I'm just interested in this thing, these other things here, I'm pretty much not, these, I don't need those, that's for the, this is pretty much for the flute, I need these and these two, as I understand it, in regards to the sharp 1 or sharp 2, and commercials again, but so until here, I think it's pretty much what I need. There might be some nice thing in regards of understanding the others, because there are some notes which have these, instead of a sharp, it's what's it called? It's a flat and all that, and I'm trying to figure out how to actually play them as the other way around and all that. Anyway, it's a learning process, and hopefully at some point I will be able to just play them and listen to the tunes. That's so, and get back to the 16th century of these children's songs. There's some practice, some more tutorial and settings and all that. So that's one game or one program to train a little. We have another one. Anyway, I should probably have a break here. Yeah. Well, there's a program more, and the last one is Music Theory Helper, pretty much that, where you can read a little about the different things and all that. Anyway, a little here and a little there, and at some point I'll get it. Have a good one, all of you. I need a break. I absolutely need a break.